Urban bikes have been a hot topic in recent years, especially as city bike riding has grown more popular. There's been a real push in major cities in the US to add bike lanes and to get people riding to and from work on bikes. So the urban environment has become a hotbed for bicycles. And what really distinguishes an urban bike from other bikes is a couple things. So typically speaking, when you talk about urban bikes or bikes for the city, you're talking about faster bikes, bikes with thinner tires, a little bit better maneuverability. Especially when you're riding in a city environment, you're going to be riding on the street. You want to be able to keep up with the flow of traffic. I mean, obviously bicyclists can't necessarily ride as fast as cars, but I think it's important to be able to ride at a reasonable speed and to be able to move through traffic as fast as possible, because there is going to be a lot of dangers riding in a city with cars going by and lots of people walking and lots of commotion and chaos. So urban bikes typically will have thinner tires. One thing is they may have a more aggressive riding position, or they may have an upright riding position. Across urban bikes, both could be true. You see a lot of urban bikes that are more lean forward, ride as fast as possible, and you see some that are upright. I would say typically in an urban bike too, you're always going to see speeds. And what I mean by that is you're never going to see a single geared urban bike unless it's on the men's side of things. You do see in the urban category something called fixed gear, which is actually one gear. It's fixed, meaning the pedals never stop turning. So the rider has to actually be moving their pedals at all time. I guess when I say you're not going to see single speed, I was thinking more on the female side of urban bikes. So typically with urban bikes for women, you're not going to see a fixed gear single speed. The fixed gear is more popular with men. And in that regard, you will see a lot of men riding a fixed gear urban bike or city bike. That's a very, very common thing. On the women's side, I would say you're typically going to see 3 to 7 speeds. It's a little bit more simpler of a gear system. You don't need 21 speeds. 3 speeds are actually really good. 7 speeds are a little bit better if you want to go faster. 3 speeds are good because they're simpler. I would say lastly, for the urban bikes, common feature is aluminum frames. And big reason for this is going to be the weight of the bike makes it easy. People living in urban environments typically live up a couple flights of stairs, or they live on the 2nd or 3rd floor. Having an aluminum bike a little bit lighter makes it easier to transport it if you have to bring it into your condo or apartment or townhome and it has to go into a couple flights of stairs. Or if you're keeping it outside or in a garage, the aluminum will be less susceptible to rust. So if you're keeping it outdoors, it'd be a little bit easier. So across the urban landscape, I would say you're seeing a good amount of aluminum bikes. And so lastly, in urban bikes too, you're going to see bikes that are going to be things that are agile. What I mean by that is bikes that can go fast, quickly, give you some maneuverability. You're going to be riding in an environment, again, where there's going to be obstacles and cars. So you're going to see, handlebars that can be turned quicker, riding positions where people just, can get around faster. So the thinner tires will enable that. And then lastly, good braking systems. If you're riding in an urban environment, you're riding an urban bike, you want to make sure you've got a good braking system, especially if a car juts out. So you're typically going to see caliper handbrakes on the front and the rear. That would be the most common braking system you'd see in an urban bike. So all in all, urban bikes are designed to be fast, maneuverable, and light for mobility up and down stairs. Some rules of thumb when purchasing an urban bike. Number one, make sure you know your environment and the pace in which you're going to have to ride. If you're riding in a really busy city like New York, you're definitely going to want to buy an urban bike geared a little bit more towards speed, because you're going to have to be competing with cars and pedestrians, and you want to make sure that when you pedal harder, you can get going faster, a little bit quicker. With fatter tires, it might not be conducive to a more congested area. So that's something to pay attention to. Another tip is, I would say, look for speeds. You're going to want speeds on that bike if you can. As I said, fixies and one-speed bikes are popular for men, but I would recommend gears because it'll allow you to go faster, as needed. If you need to shift up a gear, shift down a gear to accelerate, or to get between cars, or to beat a light from turning, get ahead of pedestrians, having those speeds are really going to help. Some tips for getting the most out of your urban bike, number one, is keep up with the maintenance. Make sure, especially if you're riding in a city environment, there's going to be a lot of debris on the streets. There's going to be dirt and filth, just lots of cars and exhaust. Maintaining your bike's going to be really, really important. So cleaning it at least once or twice, or once every month or every 2 months, especially if you're riding almost every day. There's going to be a lot of buildup of soot and other things, and that can, if that starts to get into the chain, can really affect the ride, in particular the brakes. So make sure your chain is lubed and things are kept up well. I would say also make sure that your brakes are tuned and your tires are always pumped up. In that environment of an urban environment, riding an urban bike, you're going to be needing to stop quick, to accelerate quick. And you're going to be in more precarious situations where cars are going to be coming out, people are going to be walking. So you need to make sure your brakes are completely tuned and dialed in so you can stop in a moment's notice. And you want to make sure your tire pressure is really where it should be, because if it's too low, you're not going to get the acceleration and the roll you need to go at the speeds you want to go in an urban environment. And also make sure your gears are tuned. The gears are going to be pivotal to your acceleration and your ability to, go between cars or go on the bike lane. And so if your gears are not working properly and you're fumbling to shift and the chain falls off, that could be a really dangerous situation. Again, if it's really congested. So on your urban bike, I would say number one, just really, really make sure that maintenance and tuning is something top of mind.